Hello and welcome to Campaign 2018 Governor's Debate. I'm Celine MacArthur.
This is one of thousands of points around the island that is truly ideal for drug traffickers. In some cases, they'll park their go-fast boats about 10 miles offshore. They'll have runners pick up the drugs in boats like this one. Kat, Darren, this four-way intersection was designed with these bump outs to provide more room for people walking and hiking in the area, for trees and for rain gardens like this one to keep storm runoff off Lake Champlain. But the space for these added features, it had to come from somewhere, right? It came from the road. The streets here are more narrow and for some drivers harder to navigate. And they say these granite curbs are tearing up their tires. Look, you can see the marks left behind from cars hitting them. Now, city leaders tell me this is the new norm in Burlington and you need to get used to it. But do you? We begin with an amazing emotional reunion tonight. A truck driver helps a sick little boy during a traffic backup from a crash on I-89.
When you sell, do you know what you're selling?
9 out of 10 times no. When you get it, they don't tell you.
How does it feel knowing, though, you're a mom with your little girl in the house while you're doing heroin? What do you think about when you hear that?
feel like a piece of shit. Feel like crap.
How excited are you to be reunited with your baby?
I'm overly excited. I cannot wait. It'll be nice to be able to have her, not just see her for a couple hours.
That drive so many people because then it's not your competitive edge. So then people are going to have to get a master's degree or an even higher degree, and they're going to end up having to pay for it. So it's not really free.
I don't. I don't look at it that way at all.
How do you look
the
at it?
way I look at it.
So you're not going to actually tell us where the car is? He said no. As we looked for the car, an employee approached us.
You can get the microphone out of my face. I would appreciate that.
Well, you know, my thing is that we're here simply to get a very simple answer.
Okay.
Where is this car?
The car is, well, I'm not sure where it is.
We walk up to the house on the hill. No one's here yet, but as you can see, there is a kiddie pool. There is a kiddie chair, and the neighbors think that this is a rental and that there might be children here. So as of now, no one's here, but we will come back. All right, next neighbor. As we're about to leave. My name is Celine MacArthur with Channel 3 News. I'm looking for the parents. Is this your son?
Yes.
Lawmakers will be voting on one of these four candidates tomorrow to be the next head of the Vermont National Guard. Retired Brigadier General David Bezeski has been with the Guard for 12 years.
We also have retired Army Lieutenant Colonel David Graham. He joined the military in the 70s and rose through the ranks.
Retired Colonel Roseanne Greco was with the Air Force for 30 years. She moved to Vermont when she retired. Now she's opposed to the F-35s, but says she can follow orders.
Probably the best part of the meal. At least according to Celine MacArthur as well. She joins us live at the Higher Ground Ballroom in South Burlington with a preview of tonight's event. Celine, how's it going? What's happening right now?
Well, right now we're less than an hour out from showtime, so everybody is setting up their tables. This is just one of the tables to give you a quick look. This is salted caramel almond cake. I've wanted to try it, but I can't yet. You have to wait until the next hour. It's amazing. This is one of 10 tables that are being set up as we speak. 10 restaurants are taking part from around the state. We're talking Burlington, Essex, Winooski, Montpelier. Everyone is well represented. Now, speaking of Essex, this is one of the tables being set up right now, and this is Chef Laura Johnson. Hi. So this is last minute setup. Are you going to be ready?
3 judges and 1 news anchor coming off for Sugar High tonight.
It was the toughest time. I feel like I need to stretch or something. I never thought I could eat this many desserts, but I did. Well, the good news is Halloween doesn't have to be over just yet. Ava Solberger with 7 days is here to show us not only her fabulous costume, but a Vermont tradition that draws thousands. I have to tell you, I didn't know what to wear today because I knew she was coming like this, so I just decided the all black is the only way to compliment. This is a very special episode of Secrets to Entrepreneurial Success. I think we have our biggest name to date, rock legend Steven Tyler.
Wait, is he here?
Oh my God, is he here?
I don't think he is. I think maybe I ought to let my hair down.
Hi everyone, welcome to Facebook Live. This is your Channel 3 News special report. I'm Celine MacArthur.
And I'm Galen Edlin. We were happening to go by here in downtown and we saw the fire smoke very heavy at Hotel Vermont.
So if you haven't heard about this, around 8:35 this evening, firefighters were called out to the Hotel Vermont here on Cherry Street because there were reports of flames. And as soon as we got here, you can see there was intense smoke, a lot of black smoke. People were being evacuated from the hotel. And what you can see up on the very top floor flames coming out of the vents. I haven't seen a single person walking around with one of those really big stuffed animals. So I hit the internet to get some advice and put it to the test.
Yeah, you get bonus points if you go around me. If I get the 360. You're planning on skiing this weekend. The resorts in our region will not disappoint. The early snow has launched truly an epic ski season.
Now, Celine, you've been waiting for this moment for months. This is the Bolton Valley Resort. Was it everything that you dreamed of?
It was everything, and it was more than that. Are you having a rough day? If so, ask a friend for a hug.
Taco and a hug? I don't know.
Taco and a hug. I mean, it's a double whammy.
Well, according to a study from the Department of Psychology at Carnegie Mellon University, being hugged can help someone who is in a bad mood.
There you go.
We get to have one. Yay, thank you.
Record amounts of drugs are flowing into Vermont and New Hampshire. One of the largest stops on the pipeline, New York City. From there, it splits. For Vermont, it runs up through Hartford, Connecticut, Springfield, Mass, and then crosses the border. Another route, straight up 87, crosses over to Rutland, then north into Burlington. Now, the pipeline into New Hampshire runs along 95, up 93, into Lawrence, Mass, then north. Springfield and Lawrence, two big drug feeder cities for our states. And I found out how easy it is to buy drugs there.
I could walk around in 10 minutes and you'd probably find you 3 or 4 people. Like, it's that easy.
With law enforcement supervision, we take him up on his offer to show us how easy it is to buy drugs and drug paraphernalia in Lawrence.
How serious is the drug problem in Vermont?
It's the #1 underlying problem to all the crimes that we're having here, in my opinion.
It's happening. This is what we've all been waiting for.
Police department, come out now!
We're the only news crew on the front lines and inside the briefing room to see how this large-scale operation comes together. As you can see, the medical examiner ruled her death a homicide, specifically by blunt impact head injuries. Now, over the past 2 weeks, no one has been arrested or charged in Sadie's death.
Because she's dead, does DCYF feel at all responsible for that?
I've given you my response this morning, thank you.
I mean, is there anything else that you're going to be doing? Are you investigating the parents?
All right, we are coming off a gray day on the first day of May.
And it was a cold one, so I thought I'd mark the start of the month with a ride on the Burlington bike path with, of course, you know, my GoPro and lots of layers.
And also your like neon Nike plutonium shoes. Now, it doesn't look like you had much competition out there, though, for space.
No, which is why I was confident I can actually shoot that video with one hand.
Troopers say they see drivers violating the move over law multiple times a day. Now watch this. Our cameras are rolling as Trooper Brian Tracy is talking to the driver of this white car when another car nearly sideswipes him. Now watch it again in slow motion. The driver has an open lane to the left. So troopers say there's no excuse for that driver not moving over.
Christine Hallquist, this next question is for you. Your son Derek made a documentary called Denial that's about you and renewable energy. In it, you push a 5-megawatt solar project. Let's watch a clip.
In this documentary, I see you flip-flopping.
That was a very strategic flip, and the reason for that was because they won't believe me until they see the problem.
You use the phrase strategic flip. Is your approach that the ends justify the means? Is that how you would govern? You have 1 minute to respond.
Well, I will tell you that I think, I've been fighting to solve climate change ever since 2004. The grid issues are very complex and people will have a hard time understanding it.
Ian Brulard was on the run for 75 hours from when he managed to escape a Franklin apartment surrounded by police through the nor'easter all the way to 3 o'clock last Saturday morning when he was tracked to a home in Concord. That arrest all caught on camera by New Hampshire State Police. Well, fortunately, many people are heeding Governor Sununu's advice. Stay off the roads. The traffic much lighter than a typical Thursday, but those on the roads are keeping New Hampshire State Troopers very busy today. Joining me to talk about it, Trooper First Class Chris Carter. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
And when you look at these roadways, how would you describe them as the pro on the road?
Does anybody think of the people who are taking the drugs during the process when you guys are developing it, you're packaging it, you're shipping it? Does anybody ever think of that?
You know what I meant to say? All you think about is the money.
But you were sleeping on a street. How does that feel?
I hate it.
I hate it.
I don't know what I'm doing. I have to tell you, it's frustrating, it's deflating, but I'm at a point, this is the most discouraging thing I've ever experienced in law enforcement.
And as we celebrate the last hour of Take Your Dog to Work Day, I want you to meet Walter. He is my co-anchor for the night and a beloved member of the Channel 3 News team. And tonight we're going to talk about why there is a greater push to bring more pets to work.
You guys are such a hoot on TV. I enjoy you tremendously.
So I feel good. I feel like we've recruited some new Vermonters. We've gotten some interesting perspective from graduates.
Yes, and I think a lot of people, even though they've got some challenges ahead, they're looking forward and they're optimistic.
Feels good. Do we have to go back to the station now?
We'll see you there.
All right.